7:30. Everyone please rise and we'll have the pledge, or prayer and pledge. May the God known to each of us provide the strength and wisdom to perform the duties and fulfill the responsibilities required by our oath of office. May our actions be pleasing to God and meet the expectations of the citizens we serve. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to call our meeting to order for Tuesday, November 19th. And council members, you have approval of minutes before you for the council work session and our last meeting, November 7th, as well as the regular council meeting minutes. With pleasure.
I'm gonna make a motion to accept as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion about the minutes from our last two meetings? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is public comments. Jacob Mitchell, 703 Water Street. You have approval, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all this evening. I just wanted to say a couple things I learned today. If you didn't know, unfortunately, one of our board members for the Board of Education resigned tonight. Nobody knows why. It was Reed Byers. I was there to speak about just an idea I had for the school system. Linda Childers asked me to come out and talk, and that was something that happened, so I didn't know if anyone in the room knew it. They're looking to appoint someone new for the Board of Education, so that's going to be out in the public now. The main reason why I'm here tonight is it's the 1-year anniversary, really, if you think about it, since we brought back the newsletter. And I know that not everyone necessarily agrees with it, maybe not everyone in this room, maybe not everyone in the community, of how important it is. But I know that with everyone I've talked to, it's something that's dear to my heart. Donnie Flyben has been someone who's been super supportive of it, Paula, everyone. And I just want to say thank you for bringing it back. It was late again, and I was going to suggest it's not on you all at all. You all turn in the information you give to the company. I don't think anyone's got theirs in the mail yet, but it is updated in the app for November. And I know at the senior center, it's important that the people who aren't necessarily coming out to the senior center, that they get that information a little sooner. And especially with the Christmas parade coming up, everyone's going to be excited about that. So make sure everyone has a chance to come out to that who wants to come out. But I just want to say that I'm super thankful for the fact that this council listens more than people give you all credit for. And you all actually do your jobs better than a lot of people give you all credit for. And I've witnessed it personally. It may not happen at the speed in which they want it to. And sometimes, like your parents say, when you're a little kid, you just have to be patient. And good things come. And people wouldn't be dying to get in the village if that wasn't true.
Motion carries. You got married, 3821. You have the floor, sir. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. So, not used to this. Not sure how it's supposed to go, but I appreciate you guys letting me talk. And as he just said, I'm Levi Merritt. I'm president of Barboursville Youth Football. Many of you guys have kids who came through our league, maybe currently have kids that are in our league. I've been a part of it, been around for a long time. It's a great league. We strive on not just making football players or cheerleaders, we strive on making kids better members of the community. So first off, I want to say thank you just for the facilities that we do have. Like, it's state of the art, hands down, the best that I've been around. And trust me when I tell you, when people come to our facility, we're the envy of the league. I mean, it's unbelievable what the city's done, and I appreciate that, first and foremost. So that's from us and just the community in general. But today I'm here to ask the city for help farther improving these conditions. So as many of you guys know, the football league, probably 36, 38 years ago, I think Dennis Nygert was the president at that point. He built the concession there between the splash park and the grass field that we used to play at. So within the last 3 years of being at the grass, we've grown exponentially. So we've used that concession there and the area above it to store all of our, pads, blocking dummies, jerseys, helmets. I mean, you name it. Everything we have goes up there and that concession. So in the last 3 years, we've grown exponentially. We have about 250 kids each year that participate, whether it's football, cheer, or majorette. And upon growing, we realized that that storage that we have there is tough for us to work with on the turf. Currently, right now, we have about $15,000 to $20,000 of material or helmets, shoulder pads, pants, whatever it may be, stored above that. And that we're either each year we're lugging that back and forth between the turf and the grass. And not only that, there's, I think, which rightfully so, there's maybe slushy people that come in and out down there, so the security of it is slightly concerning to us. So, our proposal, what we would love to have is a storage facility behind the scoreboard of the new turf field. This building will serve Barboursville youth football, it will serve the city, and it will serve Barboursville junior baseball, the middle school baseball. So, firstly, obviously it served Barboursville youth football in the fact that we'd have a centralized local area that we could just drag our stuff right there 20 feet outside the fence and store it throughout the year and throughout the season. And be a little bit more secure. So the city would have keys and Barboursville football would have keys. Secondly, I know that garage bay between the concession stand now of the turf and the women's bathroom, there's that little garage bay, which I think the city had their ATV in it and the turf sweeper. Well, if you look at it now, it's jammed from ceiling to floor to ceiling of like all the stuff that we have in there. And I know there's some sensitive, probably HVAC, pumps. It looks like gears, controls. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they're not supposed to be bumped into or knocked into. So it would help us get those things out and let the city use that as it was intended. Thirdly, it would help Barboursville junior baseball utilize that field. It's an awesome field that's down there, ready, set up for baseball. Really what they're lacking is a concession stand and any type of storage. So they would be able to fully move into that and utilize that as their home field. So my proposal would be, I put together some rough drawings. I can leave with copies with you guys, but our proposal would be a simple building that would fit the aesthetics of the rest of the park. A split face brick, same shingle colors, just a simple structure, concrete floor, center block, few windows and a door. Something simply for us to put storage lockers in there to house our stuff. We own Kitchens by Woody, so we've been able to, we build and we work with a lot of builders and contractors and tradesmen. So I went ahead and priced the material through our rep at 84 and priced, each independent contractor to give me a price on what it'd be to, do the groundwork, do the block work, the framing, all the above. And the building would be somewhere between $40,000 to $50,000. As a nonprofit league, it takes us about $50,000 a year to just run our league, and to give the kids what we give them. So obviously that's going to be a pretty hard pill for us to swallow if we could to do that ourselves. So I'm here today to ask for the help from the city and the park, either if they for all or help or work in tandem with us to, we could volunteer hours, we could we could fundraise for the material. So however it'd be best for the city to do, but we're just asking for help and a building to store stuff.
I appreciate you being here, and I'll say a couple of things immediately that come to mind as far as state contract pricing on some things that we're able to save some money on.
Sure.
I'll pass this along to our park board, as well as have our city engineer and our public works department take a look at materials, what we can get on state contract and what we need to do to do something like that. But ultimately, we have an advisory committee who brings stuff back to the park, to the council. It's not a long process at all.
Okay.
But if you have something with material costs on it, anything else you have proposal wise, I'll be happy to make copies and get out to the appropriate people.
Okay. You just want to email it over?
Yeah, if you don't care.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yeah,
an email address, right?
yeah.
Okay, I thought so. If you don't mind to just send it over to me, I'll get it in front of the park board. We'll price some stuff out with our park director and our city engineer, and we'll go from there. I don't think there's anybody that would be opposed. We understand how much the facility's growing, how much it's used, and we'll get it back in front of the council as soon as we can.
Sure.
So, good with everybody? Okay. Thanks for being here, Luke. I really
can
appreciate
stay
it
around.
too.
Am I good?
No, you're
Okay.
good. It's going to be really exciting if you want to. If you want to stick around, you can.
But
But
be rude
no,
just to
you're
walk
free. No,
out.
you're free.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
Just send that to me whenever, and we'll get to work on it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I tried to convince him to stay. We don't have anybody else signed in for public comment. You have departmental updates before you, and I'll say that the chief is not here for obvious reasons. They've had a long few weeks. John, same thing. We didn't really have anything on the agenda. He had some things prearranged, so But just to reiterate what I was telling some of you before the meeting is we'll have a work session prior to our next meeting. There are several things we need to discuss, including youth league sports at the park. So those things will be back on our agenda. Hopefully I can have some stuff back for you on what Levi just spoke to as well. But having said that, department updates, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that for every responding agency to the interstate, if you would have seen how they reacted last week, I know it was this huge inconvenience to what was going on with the interstate being shut down, and it was almost immediate. I started getting phone calls at 4 a.m. What's going on? What's going on? Before they got the first wreck cleaned up, the second wreck happened. And then there were wrecks on Route 60, a wreck on Route 2. So everything was jammed up, and every agency who has reciprocal agreements with us, as far as fire departments go, as soon as the call was made, they're all here. But our police department and our fire department were first on the scene, as they should be. But the feedback from Triton Construction, from the Department of Highways, from everyone else involved that had a role in what was going on, it was completely complimentary of our first responders, and I just want to put that on the record because the last few weeks have been tough for them. And I'll say this too for Triton Construction, it's a difficult project. I think we all feel like it's a person in therapy. It's always working on itself, but Triton Construction doesn't have to lend their equipment to us to clean those wrecks up, and they jump in every time that it happens, and they're doing the best they can too. And I think I said that in one of the interviews that they came and asked me about, and I really told them, I said, I don't have anything to add.
You can, I mean, they are working.
No, they're
not
there.
just sitting there.
I mean, I think that it's frustrating for all of us, but the point is that all these people, we meet once a month here at the fire department, and all of those agencies are represented, including the county, including the state, and all these people have done such a fantastic job during the times that it's been tough. So I just want to make sure we put that on the record tonight to thank those guys. So if there's any questions about department updates, Danny's here, and I can forward anything on to the chief. And if there's any work orders, I'll just remind you, you can shoot us an email, text, and we'll get those in. There's a number of things getting ready to happen, as you know. A number of the sewer projects and drainage projects are bid out and ready to go, so those are getting ready to start. If not, we don't have old business, and the only item of new business is the consideration of an approval of bid award for a new bulldozer, and I'm gonna let Danny speak to that.
Okay, we sent 2 of our operators to 3 different companies to look at various machines that's comparable to the one we have. We sent them to Leslie Equipment. They sell John Deere machines. We sent them to Caterpillar. They sell Caterpillar machines. And then State Equipment sells Case dozers. And they actually sat on the machines and tried them out. And then we received the bids from Boyd Cat and State Equipment. And Leslie misunderstood the newspaper ad. They thought they were supposed to get their bid in the mail by noon, and it should have been here by noon, so we couldn't count theirs. But they did give us their numbers, and they were in line with the Caterpillar machines. The machine that the mechanic and the 2 operators and Jason McComas, we've all looked at the specs and compared the 2, and the one we feel best suits our needs is the D2 there, and the cost is highlighted.
Cost is $135,696.80, and again, that's been through the gamut of people at the shop and within our department heads. Also talked to John about purchasing, so like we talked about last time. The money's there to be able to do it, so that's the recommendation from the group of people that looked at it, and that recommendation is for the highlighted D2. Danny, is that what you said, D2?
Yeah,
D2-12 in the amount of $135,696.80, and I'll entertain a motion to that effect. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, we discussed what we're gonna do with our current machine. Is there any
That includes the trade.
that is with trade-in things?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about, just so you know, the whole discussion, we talked about doing it in an auction. It's a gamble with the auction. You get a low ball on an auction item like that, you don't get as much out of it, so they felt like everyone that had spoken about it felt like the best thing to do at this point, given what was going on with that machine, was to go ahead and just take it as a trade-in. And that way we won't have to deal with it again, there's no hauling it to the auction site or anything like that. So we do have a motion and a second, correct, for the D2-12 in the amount of $135,696.80. If there's no further discussion, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Now, the D2 with winch is probably a misprint.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
D2
what
with
the heck?
winch,
We
yeah.
don't want that one.
It's the D2
The one
$1
$1
million.
million one?
Yeah, yeah.
We got a deal.
Right, yeah, we did. We'll go ahead and go to council comments. I don't have anything. I said what I was gonna say about law enforcement and first responders, so I'll just reiterate, thanks to them, and please review it.
I don't have much tonight other than thank you all for being here, faithful few, appreciate you all. And we're getting ready for our Christmas parade coming up on the 5th. And our guys are working hard to get all of our lights out. I looked out my office window today and the poor guys were out there in the pouring rain getting these snowflakes up. So, they're always working hard and doing their job, so I appreciate all of them. That's all.
I will say one thing about the parade. Our grand marshal is the Cowboy and Animal Control Shelter. We've been doing a little contest online with our Christmas ornaments. 3 people turned their pictures in today with it was at Dave & Buster's, if we wanted to know, on their Christmas tree, and it's been hanging there for about a week or so now. But there's another scavenger hunt coming up. But they're the grand marshals. Proceeds from our ornaments will go to them, and they're going to do a donation drive here on the night of the 5th in the community center for the stuff they need, like stuff. People can bring monetary donations too, but they're going to encourage that blankets, food, and things like that, newspapers, are all brought here that night. So that's what I think.
Newspapers, they're really good.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that's what's happening on the night of the Christmas parade, which is December 5th at 6 p.m. Right? Yeah, 6 p.m. Okay. All right, Paul.
Okay, thank you all for coming tonight. I want to thank the guys for working in the rain today. I did see them, and I tell you, they are very dedicated people, so please pass that on. The Hometown Hero Award, our fire department and police department got that, which I think is going to be aired this Friday.
This coming Friday, yeah.
So that's something I'm really excited. I mean, it's something to make them very proud. It should. And other than that, that's all I have. I appreciate it.
Has Brandy already picked who gets money for the lights?
I think she was in the process of doing it. One group of people did have a night or two that they missed last year, so they'll be back out there. But I think she was working on selections as we speak. So I'll make mention of that.
Yeah,
Yep. I'll make mention of
probably
that.
have a good turnout.
Yep.
Came home today and saw a snowflake and made me really happy. I'll sleep peaceful until you all take them down the day after Christmas. Before we get the first snow. We can live with this after
It's really good.
Right.
As always, love living in the village and the interstate. While I know it's a mess, I think, after COVID, it has been very productive and they've worked hard. And I was on the interstate 2 or 3 times a day, and there wasn't anybody lollygagging. They were all out there chopping trees and standing out, working machines, and so I do think that we are making progress. That's all I got.
Okay, Mr. Mitchell, thank you for the comments you made there, that was good, thank you for that. But, thanks everybody for being here, I have much more to say. Okay.
I'll leave the rest for Donnie.
The only thing I was gonna mention was what Rachel already talked about was about the city workers and out there busting their can, driving rain today, trying to get that stuff. It was almost like the parade was tomorrow and they had to hurry and get everything done. Only one other thing was there a homeless camp that was
They moved them out within about 4 days. It was under the bridge over on Mud River where they
I
got
saw
all
a
in
bunch
me.
of them there and
We just took a dump truck over there, and moved them out. We gave them four truckloads actually.
Wow.
They gave them notice on Thursday, gave them 48 hours to get out, and then Monday rolled around. The chief had our guys go over and we'll go ahead and get rid of it. Now I will say too, so that you guys know, we didn't just run them out of town. We gave them options of where to go to, things where they get resources. and because of our opioid settlement, we're considering, and we'll bring this back to you guys too, we're looking at the parameters of how this works. We think it's an acceptable expenditure, but to the organization that they went to on our recommendation, we were thinking about giving them a donation from our opioid settlement, and that is one of the allowable expenses, it appears. So we'll bring that back to the council before we make the application.
Sounds like a great
Yeah,
idea.
it's not fair to send
Right,
and
right.
expect.
That's right. Anything else, sir?
That's all I got, thank you.
You guys good? Mark, Danny? All right. Thank you guys for being here. We'll adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.